What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left. Yes, sirski. All right, so, man, we got Katt Williams with exclusive footage of Ludacris sacrificing for fame. Spicy.
No, so there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us.
One last point, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I've never personally been with Quincy Jones, but you, that was your girl, boy.
Oh.
Afro with the sideburns. Yeah, that's my signature. Addictions on the rise. Comedians check your temperature.
2024 is Katt Williams' year. With his recent viral appearance on the Club Shay Shay podcast, the comedian came for everyone and their grandma. From Steve Harvey to Cedric the Entertainer and Kevin Hart, no one was spared. Unfortunately, rapper Ludacris found himself on Katt's hit list as well. Williams didn't pull any punches when he accused the rapper of aligning himself with the Illuminati for the sake of fame and success. He didn't even spare his wife, hinting at a darker narrative where black comedians who have joined the ranks of the Illuminati all happen to have light-skinned wives. Now, Ludacris was not about to let his name be smeared like that in public, so he jumped back in the studio and dropped a freestyle, shutting down the rumors. But just when he had thought the drama was in the rear view, Katt Williams came back guns blazing. He released a freestyle response of his own and dropped exclusive footage proving Ludacris's ties to the Illuminati. From the looks of things,
I gotta check that out, bro. The Katt, I seen the Ludacris freestyle. I gotta check out the Katt Williams freestyle. That's what I need to hear.
Doesn't seem like Luda has a response this time. Just what exclusive footage did Katt get his hands on? And what kind of sacrifices did Luda make for fame? Buckle up because the drama's spilling like crazy.
See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Katt raged war on Ludacris during his recent Club Shay Shay interview. During his sit-down with Shannon Sharpe, Katt talked about how both he and Luda were approached by the Illuminati. The terms for joining the ranks of the secret society were simple. Cut off all your hair and get rid of the sideburns. And guess who accepted the deal? Given that Katt still has his locks and Luda was rocking a clean-shaven look back in the day, it's not hard to figure out who shook hands with the Illuminati.
Where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us, we were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points.
And it seems like Ludacris blew the horn on this one himself. While accepting the Grammy Award for the Best Rap Album in 2007, Luda joked about how he had to shave his head to bag the win.
And the winner for the Best Rap Album goes to Ludacris. Is your year, baby.
So y'all telling me all I had to do was cut my hair to win the best rap album? That's what y'all telling me? Huh?
The way Luda accepted the award had some fans thinking he knew about the win beforehand. Fans also noticed that Ludacris was no longer rocking his signature sideburns anymore. That said, Katt wasn't interested in aligning himself with the secret society, despite all the glamour they promised. Over the years, Katt has presented himself as an individual who's interested in protecting his integrity instead of chasing the millions. Speaking about the offer, Katt said, and the next person they said was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. So that's the story of how Luda sold his soul to the devils of Hollywood. It may seem like there might be some truth to Katt's words after all, since Luda ended up on the front page of Hollywood following the success of his role in Fast and Furious. It proved to be a moneymaker for the rapper, as the franchise went on to release 10 installments along with a spin-off movie. Ludacris has been involved in 7 of these, earning himself a decent net worth of $40 million.
Sir.
Wow.
Fast and Furious is on what number right
10.
now?
10. 200 million. I might need to get me one of them old women look the same.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, Katt stands at about a measly $2 million, though Katt suggested that he was loaded during the Club Shay Shay interview, saying, "I saw my net worth. I had that on me. What I'm saying is, my net worth is more than my last Netflix deal." Still, the figures seem to back up Katt's claims about Luda signing a deal with the devil. However, that's not all that Katt had to say about Luda. He cranked up the heat by taking shots at his wife, Eudoxie, calling her light-skinned and ugly face.
One person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done a... Remember I told you that if I say that it applied to 7 people?
Yes.
It's part of what they give you. Okay? I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it?
While Katt's comments come off as rude and disrespectful to some, he wasn't merely dropping insults to stoke the fire. Instead, Williams was hinting at a darker narrative in the industry, implying that Luda settled for Eudoxie simply because of his ties to the Illuminati, and he ain't the only one. According to Katt, marrying a light-skinned partner is part of the deal for most black comedians who end up in the ranks of the secret society that manipulates the industry from behind the curtains. Katt highlighted the way the elite exploit the vulnerability of young artists, coercing them into actions they wouldn't typically consider. Interestingly, when questioned, these artists often claim it was entirely their choice. During the interview, Katt brought up the Kevin Hart controversy once more, reminding everyone how the comedian had sworn off from wearing the dress, only to do the exact opposite to appease those in power when the opportunity came knocking.
Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you?
Wow.
It's okay. It's all right.
Following Katt's controversial allegations, Ludacris didn't just sit back, unlike some of the comedians that Katt dissed during the interview. He hopped back to the studio and dropped a freestyle response to the beat of Kanye West's song, Devil in a New Dress.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet, let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin.
He started off referencing Snoop Dogg before getting to the heart of the matter by flaunting his success in Katt's face and talking about all the checks he cashed in from Fast and Furious while stating clearly that he had nothing to do with the likes of the Illuminati. Luda also took a moment to pay his respects to John Singleton, the late director behind the 2003 Too Fast, Too Furious movie that introduced the rapper to the franchise.
I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns. Yeah, that's my signature. Addiction's on the rise. Comedians check your temperature.
Ludacris finally wrapped up the track by attacking Katt for his long-standing struggle with drugs, and he isn't the first one to do so. It seems like most of the people that Katt calls out resort to labeling him as a drug addict to blow his claims out of the water. Kevin Hart had a similar strategy in mind when he sat down for an interview with The Breakfast Club and asked Katt to take responsibility for his failed career instead of blaming the industry. According to Hart, the reason Katt has never been able to climb to the top is because he chose drugs.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up the beat star.
He was.
You didn't show
He
up
really
to
was.
work. You off promo shoots. You your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped with you.
Why was he at risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy.
However, Katt addressed the drug addiction allegations against him during his sit-down with Shannon Sharpe. He pointed out how there have only ever been rumors against him but no proof. He also went on to say that the only reason why his rivals have been accusing him of taking drugs is to take him out of the game.
Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Circling back to the beef between Ludacris and Katt, the rapper probably thought he did a good job of handling the situation, but the online chatter suggests otherwise. Now Luda hasn't dropped anything in a hot minute, so the fact that he came out of retirement only to drop a diss track to clear his name implies that Katt hit the jugular with his words in the fans' eyes. Even Charleston White jumped into the drama and sided with Katt, pointing out how the fact that Luda came out with a jingle is proof enough that he's guilty.
That nigga responded with a jingle. Say, that lets you know he guilty. Come back with a rap song.
Now you'd think that the men would call it a rap here, but no, Katt wasn't done. It seemed like he was waiting for Luda to respond so he could deliver a final blow to his house of cards. So what did he do? Well, the comedian jumped on Suge Knight's Collect Call podcast and played Suge some bars he was working on, which the former CEO ended up calling Hit 'Em Up Part 2.
I'm coming for your number 1 spot.
Hit 'em up,
One
part
of
2.
us a killer and the other one is not. One of us the realest and the other one a fraud. I'm coming for your number one spot. Oh, Chris, I wish it never came to this. And you pissed rapper freeze for the first time, but you dissed and missed the wrong side of history in a time like this. I'm so ludicrous. Sorry, uterus. You were Infant Chronicles. You ain't new to this.
In the viral clip, Katt rhymes over a piano instrumental
man.
and calls Ludacris a fraud. He goes as far as to reference his 2004 single #1 spot, while claiming himself to be the better of the two, and it gets worse. Katt then proceeded to accuse the rapper of being bi-curious while leading a fast and furious life himself. He also boldly claimed that he was coming for Luda's #1 spot, just like he challenged Steve Harvey back in the day.
In real life, I'm fast and furious. In real life, you bi-curious, got a fast car, but you hit the median, another body by comedian.
Katt also blew Ludacris's defense out of the water by pointing out how the rapper never accused
Katt,
him of
wow,
lying. Instead,
bro.
he only proceeded to fire back with verbal attacks.
But like another one is true. What's the witness in the other one? I'm coming for your #1. You heard the interview on Club KJ. I gave them all a payday. I'm still going viral, so who care what the haters say? Ludacris, you must be out your rabbit ass mind. Made a rap song, but you ain't there. Welfare these entertainers in your shit these days.
But the real bomb was dropped when Katt accused Luda of sleeping around with the notorious figure Quincy Jones. Once Katt had played Suge the demo, he talked about fixing it up and releasing it soon. Seems like this rivalry might turn to the charts soon
Dang.
enough.
One last point and I'm gonna leave it alone. I've never personally been with Quincy Jones, but you, that was your girl, boy. Don't play with these toys. I am to be avoided at all costs.
As far as Luda's sexuality is concerned, the rapper has always presented himself as a heterosexual man. He tied the knot with his current wife, Eudoxie, a model and philanthropist, back in 2014. Eudoxie is an accomplished woman herself, with a degree in biomedical engineering from Mercer University. What's more, she leads a nonprofit organization named Unspoken Angels, dedicated to supporting victims of DV and SA. The pair share 2 daughters together with Luda, fathering children from his previous relationships as well. However, Quincy Jones is a whole different story. While the record producer has never come out of the closet, rumors about Jones being on the DL and essaying young male artists have been circulating for years, much like Diddy. A few years back, Quincy landed in a world of trouble when the streets accused him of essaying R&B singer Tevin Campbell back when he was a minor. However, it was Tevin of all people who shut down the rumors in a tweet saying, "Now I'm trending. Folks will really say some disgusting things. Tevin was molested by Quincy. GTFOH with the devil." Interestingly, Tevin came out as gay in 2022. That said, Jones has a lot more to answer for than essaying Tevin. According to some reports, Quincy made sexual advances toward Tupac Shakur. Right before his passing, Tupac was dating Quincy's daughter, Kidada Jones, and it looks like he was looking to marry into the family, at least professionally. The street suggested that Tupac was planning to leave behind Death Row Records for Quincy's label. However, the deal fell apart at the very last second, all because Quincy asked Tupac for a questionable favor, and Tupac wasn't about to go down that road. The truth about what exactly happened between the late rapper and the executive producer was supposed to come out during Tupac's interview with radio personality Angie Martinez. The tell-all interview was reportedly 2 hours long, but get this, Tupac's words never saw the light of day. Angie ended up releasing only 12 minutes of the controversial interview.
And what's going down with that, so I wanted to get his view, and here goes a little something.
The East Coast, West Coast thing is a musical thing. That's separate. That's a whole thing separate to itself. That's a musical thing. When we have been beefing about whose music is better or which is this or which is that,
like it's gotten
from
real
the beginning.
bad
It
right
has
now.
because I'm like a lightning rod because I'm attacking New York's finest. They're self-proclaimed king of New York. You know what I mean? I'm attacking them, so because nobody is separating themselves from them, they still talking about how raw. Yes, they still talking about how raw he is and woo woo woo. He's a representative. He represents New York.
There are a lot.
Every time it benefits New York, he represents New York. When it don't benefit New York, now he's just another rapper.
I'm not
But y'all
saying
let him
that.
wear y'all colors. You let him shout y'all shit out. When Biggie came out here, he screamed out, "Brooklyn's in the house." We don't beef and say, "Why you starting a war?" Why is everybody, when I say West Side, it hurt people's feelings?
I don't think it's because you're saying West Side. I think because
They think they own me.
And when asked why during a Billboard interview, Angie revealed she backed away because of the East Coast-West Coast beef, saying, "I was scared to air this interview, and I didn't want to be responsible for making it worse. And the truth is that I made that decision, and I'm proud of that after all these years later. I think about the tragedy that happened to both Tupac and Biggie like, what if I had put that out? I would have forever wondered if I had contributed in any way to what happened, even though it may not have. Ultimately, it happened anyway, but I know that I did what I could do to not contribute to it. That gave me strength. That helped me draw my line in terms of who I am as a personality. However, fans believe that Angie had other reasons that included pressure from a powerful person in the industry like Quincy Jones. Interestingly, the part of the interview where Tupac spilled the tea about Jones did end up on the internet following his passing. However, the clip was scraped off from online platforms as quickly as it had surfaced. Fans who were around at the time swear that they heard Tupac mention Quincy asking for a questionable favor before finalizing the deal. And that's not all. Like Katt, former Public Enemy member, Professor Griff has made it his personal mission to expose the skeletons in Quincy's closet. According to Griff, Jones holds the power to take out anyone in the industry who makes the mistake of pissing him off.
The thing that raised some eyebrows with people is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. I let the chips fall wherever they fall.
That's right.
This dude was one of the ones responsible. He had a magazine financed by Warner Brothers and the rest of them. He set up sex rings in Hollywood.
So shutting down an interview with Tupac from being released to the public
Quincy,
sounds like right up Jones's alley. But get this, according to Griff, Quincy operates like Diddy. He has young male artists in the industry perform gay rituals before giving them the keys to the castle.
And the people that he brought in, if y'all tell me if I'm lying, Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince. And his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of Separation. Brought in Queen Latifah.
Set it off.
Queen Latifah set it off, licking and kissing on women. Are you right on me?
Yes.
Tevin Campbell. His little sweet ass up and down Hollywood Boulevard.
Got caught in the park.
Thank you.
And Griff came armed with proof. He pointed out how Will Smith's first big movie with Quincy was 6 Degrees of Separation, where he played a gay con artist. And guess who's facing allegations of having a gay affair with his co-star, Dwayne Martin, these days? Will Smith. Between Griff's words and the current situation, fans can see a pattern. Professor Griff also shed some light on the Tupac and Quincy situation.
I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. And it is. So when I mentioned that about it marrying itself on to hip-hop, they said, well, can you prove it? Yeah. Go back and go online and read where Tupac said he was asked by Quincy Jones to fuck him in the ass. When Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death.
That said, Quincy is not the first to be accused of demanding sexual favors from young male artists in exchange for fame and success. Diddy's been accused of the same things recently, so Griff and Katt are not pulling rabbits out of their hats. As for Quincy and Ludacris, the pair has worked together in the past on the song Soul Bossa Nostra. That said, the question of whether Ludacris slept around with Quincy as part of his climb to the top hangs in the air. However, since Katt dropped his bars, fans have been scouring the internet in search of proof that could back up Katt's claims. Interestingly enough, in their quest for the truth, a video of Quincy Jones and Ludacris holding hands surfaced, leaving many eyebrows raised.
You know, just have him in my life. He's a great leader. Great leader. Living legend. That's what we sitting in front of right
Seems like Luda couldn't stop himself from singing Quincy's praises during the clip. As for now, the internet is on Katt's side for the simple reason that none of the people he has called out accused him of lying. Instead, they took shots at him for his drug addiction, which Katt already shut down. What's more, fans believe that if provoked, Williams will pull out the receipts for everything, leaving them with no defense. These past few months have been a roller coaster for Hollywood, with key figures unveiling the darker side of some influential figures. From SA allegations against Diddy to Oprah's pay controversy, and now Ludacris's sacrifices for fame, it's a saga unraveling. As the truth emerges, the thrones of powerful men seem to be on shaky grounds. For now, it's been crickets on Ludacris's end, leaving fans speculating, will he brush off Katt's comments, or is he in the studio working to retaliate with a new track? One thing's for sure, the drama is far from over, and the echoes of Katt's allegations continue to resonate, promising a riveting chapter in the industry's unfolding story. So keep your popcorn at hand and stay tuned for updates on Rizzle as this saga unfolds.
Luda. Dang. Quincy Jones is the... Dang, bro. I ain't never knew that. I heard about the Tupac, and they say Quincy wrote Tupac a letter explaining to Tupac all the things that he wanted to do to him. Now, this is crazy, bro. Diddy is following right behind Quincy Jones' footsteps. Now, the thing about it is this too as well. He put Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith did his 6 degrees of separation when he played a role that was a man kissing a man. Queen Latifah set it off. Woman kissing woman. The narrative is all the same when it comes from Quincy. Everybody that he helps put in a role that maybe they wasn't comfortable in, bro. Tupac say, nah, Quint, I ain't gonna do that. As a matter of fact, I'm saying hell no to you, and I'm gonna expose you. Out of all people, bro, he should have known not to bring that shit to Tupac. Quincy said he want him a thug, bro. Damn, Quint.